Hello everybody. In this video we are going to look at using used to and would to talk about past actions. Now both used to and would for past actions talk about things we don't do anymore. They're very similar but a little different. Let's look at how. First, used to can talk about maybe things you used to do, things you used to have, how you used to look, how you used to be. So they can talk about how you were in the past or things that you had. Whereas would just talks about an action you would do again and again. So for example, I used to play football as a kid. So that describes you as a person. You were a footballer, right? My friends and I would play for hours. This is a specific action you used to do, but you don't do anymore. How about this one? I used to drive a VW, right? So you had a car. This kind of identifies you. You had a Volkswagen. I would take it for long drives. So I would take it for long drives. This just describes an action that you used to do again and again, but you don't do the action anymore. So let's look at this. Let's look at used to first. So used to usually talks about a state, right? Or like how you were. Like I used to be in a band, or I used to be fat. So things that might describe how you were in the past. Now it could also describe maybe something you had, like I used to drive a Volkswagen, I used to have a Volkswagen. Or it could maybe describe a quality about you, like I didn't used to like wine. Now notice when we use the past tense and it's negative, it's didn't use, there's no D. So here we have a D, here no D. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at would. So would just describes an action. So for example, I used to play the flute. I would practice every day. So would talks about an action, right? A very specific action you would do. Or I used to be fat. I would get teased often. So this action would happen a lot, but it doesn't happen anymore. All right, so here are some problems. Let's see if we can do these. So would you use used to or would you use would? So the first one, I to speak English, but now I do. So that must be negative. You're talking about a quality, so I didn't used to speak English, but now I do. And notice I don't put a D, right, because the past tense form is here. So I didn't speak English. I didn't used to speak English, but now I do. That's because I live in London. So this is a general thing. So I used to live in London. I take the train to work daily. This is an action. So I would take the train to work daily. I read the Times before work. I would read the Times before work, and actually the Times would be the name of a newspaper, should be capital. And I have many British friends. So this is kind of a quality, a status. So you would use used to. I used to have many British friends. We go out together often. This is a specific action, so we would go out together often. And that's it. So that's kind of an example of how you use used to and how you use would. And one thing I just want to touch on, you actually can always substitute would with used to. So we used to go out together often. You can substitute it, although it sounds better if you use would if you're talking about actions, but sometimes you will see used to used in that place. And that's it. I hope this helped, and we'll see you soon.